Hey guys, welcome to this quick video on algebra factorizing for year 6. So I'm just going to do the last column. Let's have a look at some of these questions here. And it says question 1, factorize the following expressions. So here you have an expression and you have two terms, your 5x and your 15. So we're going to look at these terms and see what's the highest common factor. So the highest common factor. So what we do is we look at the numbers first. You got 15 and 5, and the highest common factor for 15 and 5 is just 5, because both of these numbers can be divided by 5. And let's look at the letters. Well, you only got x here and there's nothing here, so there's no highest common factor for the letters. So we just take out the 5. So in this case, now remember, when you factorize, you put the highest common factor outside the brackets. And everything else, the stuff inside the bracket, is when you take these terms and divide it by the highest common factor. So first step is, let's put the highest common factor outside, and the highest common factor we said was 5. Now, what's inside the brackets? Well, all we got to do is take whatever this term is and we divide it by the highest common factor. So what's 5x divided by 5? Well, that's just be x, isn't it? So in here, I'm just going to put x. And then I'm going to go plus. What's 15 divided by 5? That's just 3. And there's your answer. Now let's look at the next one. The highest common factor. This one only has a w. This one has no w or anything here. So we can't factorize the letters, but we can factorize the numbers. So here you got 8 and 24. Now the highest common factor for 8 and 24 is just 8. Excuse me. It's just 8. So we take the 8 out and we're going to divide these by 8. So what's 8w divided by 8? That's just w. Plus 24 divided by 8 is just 3. And there's your answer there. Okay, next one. The highest common factor is between these two is equal to 9. So I'm going to take the 9 out here. And what's 27 divided by 9? So that'll just, so what's 27x divided by 9? So that'll just, so 27 divided by 9 is just 3. Okay, so that's just 3x. Okay, so this will be 3x. And then what's 18 divided by 9? Well, that's just 2. There's your answer. Okay, next one. Between 16 and 32, the highest common factor is 16. So I can put a 16 out here. And I can have, alright, inside here, what is 16y divided by 16? So we take this 16y, we divide it by the highest common factor, 16. And what do we get? Well, this will cancel out. All you have is y. So in here it's just y. Now what's 32 divided by 16? Well, that's just 2. There you go. Next one, the highest common factor is 2, so we take a 2 out. 4w divided by 2 will give me 2w. Now 2a, now is a minus, okay, so we minus 2a divided by 2 is just a. And there's your answer. We can't factorize any letters, okay, so let me just rewrite this. Whoops. So the highest common factor for this one was just 2. The letters, there's w and a. We can't factorize anything there. They have nothing in common. Now next one, question x. Alright, let's look at this. Let's look at the numbers first. You got 42, 28 and 56. I recognize this as multiples of 7. So that means the highest common factor is going to be a 7. So that for the numbers, so HCF will be a 7 for the numbers. Now for the letters, you got y, x, and c. They have nothing in common, so we can't factorize any of the letters out. And so only the numbers. So that means the answer is going to be, a 7 goes outside the brackets. Actually, let me just put it down here. 7 here. Now inside the brackets, we take each term and we divide it by the highest common factor. So 42y. So 42y we divide it by 7, because that's the highest common factor, and you get 6y. Okay, there you go. Alright, next one, you got 28x divided by, so what's 28x divided by 7? You're going to get 4x, positive 4x. Next one is negative 56c divided by 7 is negative 8c, and there's your answer. We factorized it, and that's the answer. I'll get rid of this so you can see the answer a bit more clearly. Okay, there's your answer. Now, question 2 says factorize the following expression. Okay, so this one, alright, we have a 1 here, okay, and a 9. We can't factorize anything there for the numbers, so we can look at the letters. The letters you got, this one has a W, and this one has a W. So we can take out the W. Okay, so because this is W times W, and this is W times 9. They both have a common factor of W. So we can take out the W, goes right there. And then what's inside? Well, you have W plus 9. You take W squared divided by W, you get W. You get 9W divided by W, you get 9. Okay. Next one, you have this two, let's see. Okay, this one has, we can take out the numbers. So the highest common factor here for these numbers is 3. Let's look at the letters. You got y squared and y. We can take out 1y. Okay, so that means that the answer here would be 3y. That's the highest common factor. And what's inside? Well, let's see. What is 9y squared divided by 3y? Okay, so this one of this y will go. 3 will go into the here 3 times. So the answer is 3y. Looks a bit messy there, but that's 3y. Minus, what's 6y divided by 3y? That's just 2. There you go. Alright, next one is you got 40, let's see, 40 and 50. Let's look at these two numbers. So the highest common factor is 10. So we can put 10. Now let's look at the letters. The letters, you got x squared and x. What's the highest common factor of x squared and x? So that means we can, this one is x times x, and this is just x. Okay, we can take out one of the x's, put it outside here. Okay, so now that we have the highest common factor for the letters and the numbers, let's see what's inside the brackets. What's 40x squared divided by 10x? 40 divided by 10 is 4, x divided by x is, sorry, x squared divided by x is just x. Alright, what's the next one? What's 50x divided by 10x? 50 divided by 10 is 5, x divided by x is just 1, so there's nothing there. So it's just 5, and it'll be minus 5. Alright, next one. The numbers we cannot factorize. These both of these are prime numbers, so they don't have anything in common except for 1. And we don't factorize 1. So alright, so this one you have, I'm gonna expand this. So this would be 7 times w times w. And this one is 2 times w. What letters do they have in common? Just one of the w's they have in common. So we can factorize that out. We can just say that's equal to w. Let me just put it over here. And what's inside the brackets? Well, we divide everything by w. See what we get. What's 7w squared divided by w? You're just going to get 7w. And what's 2w divided by w? That's just 2. So plus 2. There's your answer. Question 3. Factorize the following expression. Okay, I'm just going to do... Let's have a look here. As you can see, this one is a times b. This one is a times c. And this is a times d. What do they all have in common? They have a factor of a. So we can factorize the a out. We can say that's a. So it's equal to a. Now what's inside the bracket? Let's divide everything by a. Well, you're going to have b. Whoops. B plus c. And then minus d. There you go. Next one. Question 8. We look at the 8xy and the 4y squared, and what let's look at the numbers. We got 4, 8 and 4, so we can factorize a 4 out. The highest common factor is a 4. Now let's look at the x, y and y squared. What do we have here? So let me expand this for you to see. This will be 8 times by x times by y. Let me just change this one to, it's a bit, whoops. 8 times x times y, and this one is 4 times y times y. So in terms of letters, they both have a y in it, so we can factorize the y out as well. Okay, now let's divide everything by our highest common factor here. What is 8xy divided by 4y? Well, 8 divided by 4 will give me 2. Let's see, you got xy divided by y, that will just give me x. Plus, now what is 4y squared divided by 4y? 4 divided by 4 is 1. Y squared divided by y is just y. There you go. Question L. Maybe I should just write this out. So this will be 4 times x times y times y. This is 6 times x times y. And this is 2 times x times y. What is the highest common factor? Well, let's look at the numbers. 4, 6, and 2. The highest common factor for that is just 2. So this is called the HCF, the highest common factor, and that's just 2. Now let's look at the letters. They all have, I'm going to color this in blue. Whoops. They all have an X, and they all have a Y. So we can say, we can take an X and a Y out as well. So therefore, this is going to be 2xy. Actually, let me just write it down here. There's not enough space here. So you're gonna have the answer, I'm just gonna put it down here, is equal to 2xy. And now let's see what's inside. Okay, what is 4xy divided by 2xy? Well, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now what happens when you divide, let me just rewrite this, maybe you will understand if I write 4x, actually let me just divide it here, whoops. If I divide this by 2xy, this will be a 2, okay, x will be gone, y will be gone, so just 2y. What happens when I divide this one by 2xy? 6 divided by 2 is a 3, that's a 3 there, so we're going to have a plus 3. X will be gone and y will be gone, so just 3. And then we're going to plus with, let's divide this one by 2xy. 2 is gone, x is gone, y is gone, so you have just y. There you go. There's your factorized. Question 4, question D. So let's have a look here. So the highest common factor for this one, these two numbers, will be a 5. Now what about what does this have? Let's just redraw this here. This is 10 times W times W. What does this one have? This is 15 times W times W times W. Okay, according to the numbers, the highest common factor is a 5. Now let's look at the letters. This has a W, this has a W, and this has another W, this has another W. So that means that we can take W squared out, because W times W is just W squared, okay? That's the highest common factor. I can't take another W out. This is because this has 3, but this only has 2. I can't take another W out. So there. So let's see what we get. Now let's divide everything by 5W squared. Now this one will be 10 divided by 5 is 2. W squared and W squared will disappear. Okay. Now let's divide this one, so it'll be a minus. This one, divide this one by 5w squared. 15 divided by 5 is a 3. Now w cubed divided by w squared is just w. Or you can think of it like this. W times w times w divided by w times w. We can cross that out and we have w left. So we have w there and there's the answer. Alright, this one, the numbers, we have an 8 and a 1. So we can't factorize anything for the numbers. But the letters. Alright, so you got w to the 9, w to the 7. I can take out a w to the 7. So look at the smaller number. And let's see what we can do. Alright, so what happens, what's happening is this. You have 8 times w to w 9 times, okay? And this one has w 7 times. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can take out w to the 7 because this also has w to the 7 as well. Okay, so we can take it out w to the 7 outside, and inside here is you're going to have 8w squared plus with 1. W to the 7 divided by w to the 7 is just 1. And yep, that will be the answer. Hope that makes sense. Alright, next page. Explain why, question 1 says, explain why 8x plus 3y cannot be factorized. Okay, so why can't we factorize this? Well, let's look at the numbers. Can we factorize anything from the numbers? 8 is just equal to what? What can you do? You got a factors of 1, 2, 4, and 8. And let's look at 3. 3 has a factor of 1 and 3. What's the common between them? There's only 1. And like I said, there's no point factorizing a 1 out. It doesn't change anything. Okay, so that means we can't factorize the 8 and 3. And x and y have nothing in common as well, so we can't factorize that out either. So it cannot be factorized. That's the reason. Question 2, James has factorized an expression correctly. His answer is this, 2 bracket 7y minus 3 close bracket. What was the expression he factorized? So you want to get the expression back, expand it, expand this, and you get the expression back. So 2 7y minus 3, expand it, 2 times 7y, that will be 14y, and 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. So the expression he started with was 14y minus 6. And then he factorized into that. Remember, factorizing is the reverse of expanding. Question 3. Alexandra is trying to fully factorize this one here. Rebecca says the answer is 3 5y plus 10. And Victoria says the answer is 3 5y plus 6. And Andrea says both Rebecca and Victoria incorrect y. Okay, so let's see. How would you normally factorize this? Well, we look at the two terms. And this one has no letters, so we can only factorize the numbers. So let's look at the numbers, 15 and 30. Well, they can both be factorized. We can take out, what's the highest common factor of 15 and 30? It's gonna be 15. So we can take a 15 out. And what's inside the brackets? Well, what's 15y? What is 15y divided by 15? You're gonna get y. Now the second one is plus. What's 30 divided by 15? That's just 2. So the answer should be 15 and in brackets y plus 2. But these, who's going? Rebecca got this one and Victoria got this one. So they didn't fully factorize it. Okay. You can factorize this further. You can bring out a 5 outside, and this one you can factorize and bring out a 3 outside. Okay, so they didn't fully factorize it. So both of the answers are incorrect. All right, question 4. It says factorize this one here. Now the answer is, okay. can you spot the mistake? Okay, so if we were to factorize this, what will we get? Well, this one is just w times w, and this one is just 5 times w. Well, they both have a common factor of w, so we can put a w outside. Now, you're gonna get, what's w squared divided by w? You get w. What's what is 5w divided by w? You just get 5, and the middle one should be a minus. So what's the mistake? Well, they put a plus. Question 5, can you spot the mistake? Okay, if I factorize this, I got 24 and 20. The highest common factor of 24 and 20 is equal to 4. So I can put a 4 outside here. Now let's look at the letters. You got x squared and x. So the highest common factor of that is just x. I can take an x out. Okay. And let's see what else. So if I divided both of these by the highest common factor of 4x. So let's divide this by 4x. Okay, this will be a 1, this will be a 6, so this will be a 6 here. X squared divided by x is just x. Okay, now this one divided by 4x, you're gonna get, this will be 5, so this will be a 5, plus by the way. X divided by x is just gone, so there's your answer there. So what happened here is they factorized the 4 out, but they didn't factorize the x out, so that's why they still have x squared minus 5x there. Okay, so this one is not fully factorized, this one here. Alright, question 6, can you spot any mistakes? Okay, so let's see. What's this doing here? Alright, let's factorize this completely. So we got 20 and 30. I can take out a 10. The highest common factor is a 10 for the numbers. And the letters, let's see what the letters we got. Okay, let me just rewrite this. This is 20 times A times A times C. This one is 30 times A times C. Let's look at the letters. What do we have in common? Well, they both have AC in common. Okay, so I can factorize the AC out as well. So first of all, the numbers will be a 10 and the letters will be an AC. Okay, let's see what we get inside. Let me get rid of this. So divide this one by 10 AC. 20 divided by 10, that's just 2. C can disappear. A squared divided by A is just A. Alright, divide this one by 10 AC. Well, this 30 divided by 10 is just 3. This will be a plus. A will be gone, C will be gone, so this is 3. So therefore, this is not fully factorized. That's why it's wrong. The answer should be this one here. Okay, so there you go. Hope that clears up a few things. Okay.